You know, the running joke online is the Sixers are second round exits, they choke in the playoffs. There's never any bad talk about Tyrese Maxi. People just conveniently ignore the fact that he's also on the team and he plays a big role in the success of the Sixers. Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Wrong vs. Right. I'm your host, Jay. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. The NBA season is only a few weeks away. I know there's some preseason games going on, but today we're going to take a deep dive into the Philadelphia 76ers. Hey, real talk, there's a lot to talk about with the Sixers, but we're going to talk about three major things. The changing of the guard of Tyrese Maxi and the evolution of his leadership, the depth at the wing position, and load managing Joel Embiid throughout an 82-game season. What's the best way to do it? All right, let's jump right into the topic of Tyrese Maxi. Throughout the preseason videos that we've seen on social media, Tyrese Maxi has emerged as the vocal leader on the Sixers team. This is huge for somebody that's 23 years old, 5 years into the league, but he's really stepping into a leadership role because he has to. Joel Embiid is not a vocal leader, so Tyrese Maxi is stepping into their role.
Press break. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, Caleb. Here we go. I'm low. Come on, G. Go get it. Right here, coming up. Wait. Count on 3, 1, 2, 3. Come on, good job. Hey, that was it right there. So I had to be corner. Get back, Joel! One more time. Stop ball. I'm here.
When an organization, a coach, and the players are willing to accept a new leader, especially at a young age, that speaks volumes to how much they respect him as a player. This will undoubtedly boost Maxi's confidence going into the season and make him an even better player. You know, it's fundamental in basketball to say that the point guard is the floor general, the extension of the coach on the floor. Tyrese Maxi has stepped into that role. As a leader on the team, you need to be able to hold people accountable. Somebody that needs to be held accountable, for example, is a Joel Embiid. If he's taking plays off, if he's not playing defense, if he's flopping too much. Tyrese Maxi has to be the guy to say now, hey Joe, we got to stay in the game, big fella. We got to get down the floor. We got to play defense. We got to take better shots. Tell him things like that. If someone can hold the superstar player accountable, that is a huge benefit for the team. It's better that Maxi started this now as opposed to later in his career because we're still in Joel Embiid's prime. And if Tyrese Maxi emerges as a leader during preseason, this will only lead into the playoffs where he's going to really need to lead guys. You already got guys on the Sixers calling Tyrese Maxi OG, and Tyrese Maxi had to check him like, whoa man, I'm only 23 years old, don't be calling me OG. But that just shows you how much these younger guys respect him and what he's done for the game. You know, the running joke online is the Sixers are second round exits, they choke in the playoffs. There's never any bad talk about Tyrese Maxi. People just conveniently ignore the fact that he's also on the team and he plays a big role in the success of the Sixers. On this channel, we're not going to ignore major topics like that. Tyrese Maxi is coming into his own. Let's transition over into the depth at the wing position. We already know Paul George is going to be taking up one of those spots, either the small forward or the power forward position. The other wings on this team include Kelly Oubre Jr., Caleb Martin, Guerschon Yabusele, and Ricky Council IV. Sixers fans already know about Ricky Council IV. He's a super athletic wing who gives his all on the offense and defense. Caleb Martin is the absolute dog. We know this from his Miami Heat days. He's also a Boston Celtic killer. Kelly Oubre is a viable third or fourth offensive option on most NBA teams. When Kelly Oubre was with the Charlotte Hornets, he averaged 20 points a game. And then of course we have Olympic standout Guerschon Yabusele. Guerschon Yabusele has basketball IQ, which means he knows how to play the game on offense and on defense. He knows how to get in position to rebound. He knows how to get in position on defense. And he knows how to make open shots. In the preseason videos, we can see Guerschon Yabusele knocking down open threes, corner threes, same thing that Caleb Martin has been working on. These are the shots that these guys are going to get playing alongside Tyrese Maxi and Joel Embiid. So having all these guys that play the wing power forward position, this is going to breed competition and practice, and it's going to bring the best out of these guys on the court. If I know me and you are fighting for the same spot, I'm going to go that much harder to prove to the coach and to prove to the organization that I need to be on the court. It's not an option. You got to think a guy like Guerschon Yabusele or Ricky Council IV, these guys are hungry for some playing time in the NBA. Having that healthy competition on the team will only make the team better. And then of course you have Paul George leading the way at the wing position. You can only expect that some of his skills can rub off on those other guys, his work ethic, his ball handling. The Sixers having depth at the wing position is something that they've lacked for seems like forever. The last elite wing that the Sixers have had that showed up consistently in the playoffs was Jimmy Butler. Moving along to load managing Joel Embiid. All of us educated NBA fans know how good a healthy Joel Embiid is. Joel Embiid had a streak last season of averaging 40 points a game in the month of December. Embiid has already been on record saying that I don't care about the regular season awards, I don't care about the All-Star, I don't care about the MVP. All I care about is performing in the playoffs and being healthy in the playoffs. This change of mindset with Joel Embiid really shows maturity and the change of mindset on what he wants his legacy to be. We'd have to think that back-to-back games are off the table for Joel Embiid this season. Those days of Joel Embiid playing back-to-back games are done. So if there's a game on Thursday and Friday, Joel Embiid is going to have to sit one of those, and Andre Drummond is going to have to step in and take his place. If you paid attention at all to the Sixers last year, if Joel Embiid was out of the game, there's a good chance the Sixers are losing that game. No disrespect to Paul Reed, but he's not the backup center that Andre Drummond is. He's not the force. He's not the interior presence, the rebounder that Andre Drummond is. If we take a serious look at it, Andre Drummond could start on a lot of NBA teams. We take a look at the Knicks series. The plus minus of Joel Embiid being on the court and off the court was something serious. Being one of the best big men of all time is obviously going to have a positive impact on your plus minus for the team, right? But the drop off was so drastic between him being on the floor and off the floor. Additionally, Stevie Wonder can see that Joel Embiid still is not fully healthy. This man is still playing on one leg, it looks like. That meniscus injury that he suffered last season is still having a lingering effect on him. We even saw this in the Olympics, especially on that one dunk that you saw. He went baseline. He barely could land. It reminded me of that dunk that he threw off the backboard against Mitchell Robinson in the playoffs last year. You know what I'm talking about. He's still not 100% healthy, and he even went on record saying this. Joel Embiid is 7 foot, 260 pounds at least. I know he said he lost 20 to 35 pounds. We'll have to see about that. But he's at least 260, 270. Sustaining that weight through an 82-game season, running up and down the court, it's just not going to happen. So the Sixers will have to effectively load manage him. No more back-to-back games, no more chase down blocks. Get your big you-know-what in the paint and get your butt down in the paint and post up. Sixers don't need acrobatic Joel Embiid. They need back-to-the-basket Joel Embiid and the Embiid that can show up in the playoffs and be available in the playoffs. The Sixers have a nice balance of star players and dogs, people that will do the dirty work, make the hustle plays, and play defense. Another thing that needs to be mentioned is the impact that Nick Nurse will have on this team. He's a player's coach. He believes in each and one of his players. He empowers his players. A coach having confidence in each one of their players goes a long way. If a player thinks that, hey man, my coach isn't going to trust me to take this shot, I'm going to think twice about taking it. Nick Nurse encourages his players to take open shots. He encourages players to give it their all on offense and defense. This goes a long way. This goes a long way in terms of the mentality a player has towards the game of basketball. They want to give it their all because their coach believes in them, they believe in themselves, and they want to do what's best for the team. Hey, but look, these are my thoughts on the Sixers. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Of course, be sure to subscribe. I have more content coming this season. We're only a few weeks away from the regular season. I can't wait. Everybody can't be wrong, but everybody can't be right. All right, I'm out.